Okay, today's video we are talking about the new activity that they are adding in Act 3 of Heresy. It's free for all. It is called the Rite of the Nine. It's really cool. But before we get into that, we have to talk about this part because this is the most random thing I've ever seen on these streams. And it's so funny, but also so weird and so random. So let's talk about it real quick. Let's listen.
Brought in. We'll go ahead and start with the fine individual to my left, who you may have met by way of some of our Bungie Vidocs in the past, or if you work
Wait
here,
for it. It's
she's
great, I
brandishing a
promise.
small bottle of teeth. Yes, actually teeth.
Teeth.
At you during our
What
team's
the
meetings. I'd like to introduce.
She's so happy about it. Why does she have teeth in a bottle next to her in a live stream? I'm sorry, but we have to know that. We have to know what's going on. She's literally a warlock, bro. She is a warlock. That came from chat, and they're right. She's a warlock. Floofy, you were right, man. She's a warlock, bro. She's holding on to teeth. She's a witch. She's a bloody witch. Oh shit. All jokes aside, most random thing I ever seen. It was hilarious. I had to go over it. It was just so funny. She was so happy about it too. I don't know why. I don't know if they represented what they are. It's just too funny not to talk about. Anyways, so let's get into actually what the important part is, which is the actual Rite of the Nine. So first off, we're going to go to right here.
Yes.
Rite of the Nine.
So Rite of the Nine is our new event that we've been working
Rite
on.
of the Nine.
I'm really excited about this. It is a limited time event that features
Limited
our
time.
dungeons. 3 of our dungeons that are part of this event. That's going to be Prophecy, of course, because of the 9 associations, but also Spire of the Watcher and Ghost of the Deep. So these
I
3
still have to
dungeons,
talk
you know.
about it real quick. So if you didn't hear what they said Spire of the Watcher, Ghost of the Deep, and Prophecy, obviously, because it's all about the 9. It makes sense. I'm excited for Prophecy weapons because a lot of those weapons are good, but they do need slight perk changes to be absolutely meta. So I'm actually excited. Ghost of the Deep and Spire are both older dungeons, but also slightly newer dungeons. But unfortunately, they don't have enhanceable perks. So they took some weapons from it. They're going to make them enhanceable by the sounds of it, which is really cool. We'll continue
We've seen
listening.
a lot of reaction, positive reaction to the contest modes for our new dungeons as they've come out, and we were able to do a
those
lot
ones
of
are too easy.
hand-holding in the
That's why they
activity,
updated them.
To a whole new audience by way of what we're calling Explorer mode. And so
Adding
basically
an
we've got
Explorer mode.
new stuff at the top end in Ultimatum mode. We've got new stuff for players, or new opportunity for players to learn the dungeons in Explorer mode. And then we have Eternity mode, which is sort of aimed at our middle-of-the-road experienced dungeoneers. So we've got.
Okay, so if you didn't understand, basically they have a new mode they call Explorer, which is basically a mode which will show off because they actually show it off in a minute. Basically helps you learn the dungeon for the first time, teaches you what to do and stuff, which is really cool, and I'm kind of like that. Obviously, day 1 races wouldn't have that, but for newer dungeons after day 1 races happen, that's actually a really good thing to help a lot of new people. So that's not a bad system. At least for the older ones. Newer ones probably not, but older ones for sure. They also have an ultimatum mode, which is just absolute legend. If you've done this a fuck ton, you know what you're doing. You go in, it's harder, it's more difficult. It's kind of like contest mode, or it is contest mode in a sense for the day 1 raids, or dungeons, sorry. So it's harder mode dungeons, insanely harder mode sometimes, depending on the contest perks and stuff. So it's kind of fun. I'm excited to see how that turns out. Then there's also a middle ground mode where it's basically what you're used to, but slightly harder, but it's basically the same thing. So maybe like a master dungeon in a sense, or maybe a little less than that, but something in between like a normal and a master, I guess. So that's kind of cool. They made unique modes for them, 3 unique modes. One easy mode basically that teaches you and lets you figure it out. One that's slightly harder than you're used to, and then one that is just, I guess, going to be absolutely cracked and a lot of work and take a lot of effort for. I don't know for sure yet, but it does sound like a lot of fun. I'm definitely excited to try it out. This is unfortunately coming out in Act 3, to remind everyone, so it's going to take a hot minute. But it is exciting still either way, because it sounds like fun. This is also free for everyone, so anyone can play. Make sure you understand that as well. Let's see, the next thing we're going to is right here.
Into the horizon, you can.
Okay, so as you see in the background, you see the spire for Spire of the Watcher. That means this week, the current week, will be Spire of the Watcher. The 3 dungeons will be a weekly rotation. It sounds like for 3 weeks, 1 for each week. The first week will be Spire Watcher. Obviously, that could change. We don't know for sure if it will be Spire still. But basically, if you turn around and look back, you know exactly which one it is to focus, which is kind of cool. It's not really something that's like super hard to figure out because you'll probably be able to tell when you just load into the game. But it is kind of a cool detail. So Spire the Watcher in this case, just a little cool thing, a little detail in the back. And then here we got here, as you see,
Thank you,
Emissary
Gemini.
of the
We appreciate
Nine.
the introduction.
So
Is back, which makes sense. It's the Nine stuff. She's back, and it's really kind of cool. She's gonna have a whole bunch of stuff, bounties and stuff to do. Hopefully, those bounties give you some good stuff. We don't know for sure yet what they're gonna give, but it'll be stuff in general that most vendors have. You just simple play the thing, get some loot, extra loot, something like that. I don't know if she's gonna have a rank system. They don't show her off. She might have a rank system as well, like Zur did. We don't know, but it is kind of cool. Then, as you see, he runs back behind here. This shows off all the weapons that are going to be available, or at least, maybe not all, but at least a good set of them. They said they're bringing 4 from each area, so each dungeon will have 4, so it's a total of 12 weapons that are going to be able to be craftable, well, enhanceable, and getting a depths for, by the way. They did say you will get a depths for, but we're going to go over each one. This allows you to focus each weapon. The first one is the Prosecutor. There's extra stuff to it because they're special ones. They're special ability ones. They're special, unique. We've got Prosecutor. We have, what is that one? Relentless. High Impact Pulse Rifle. We have a grenade launcher that is special. It is called the Winder Flight. I believe that is the one from Spire of the Watcher, I think. That's Spire of the Watcher. We've got the long arm, which is from Spire of the Watcher as well, a tuned long arm, which looks really cool. That they're bringing it out because it's the only scout that's kind of shit in the game for that archetype. That archetype's been really good, but sadly it needs a buff, and I'm glad they're finally doing it. We got Judgment, which I love Judgment. It's my favorite hand cannon in the game. It's just really hard to get god roll perks on it, unfortunately. It's like the worst RNG in history trying to get a good perk for it. And since these perks are going to be updated and stuff, I'm really hoping it's got some god tier PvP perks because I love this hand cannon. I always wanted it for PvP, so I'm excited to try to get it. We'll see. And there's a depth version too, which makes me even happier. We've got Sudden Death, which is a great shotgun, but it's sadly lacking because currently aggressive frames aren't that great, but then also there's a lot better perks now, so it's kind of eh. But the shotgun is a good shotgun as a whole, so if they're updating its perks, hopefully giving it some PvP perks, this thing will be a monster, hopefully, because it's a depth as well, which is insane. So we've got that. We've got, what is this? Terminus Horizon. I don't know where this comes from. I think this might come from Ghost of the Deep. It might come from Spire. I'm not really sure. Someone would have to tell me because I don't know for sure what this comes from, unfortunately. I don't remember. We've got this this sidearm, which is the Lumina Vigil, or Liminal Vigil, something like that. This thing is absolutely cracked of a sidearm. It's always been good. No one really uses it because, one, it's hard to get a good roll for, but two, there's a lot better ones, at least in most people's opinions. But I love this thing. I've never been able to get a god roll for it, sadly, but I do love it. And now we're going to have an adept version and an enhanceable version on it. And it'll be updated perks, so this thing could be a monster. Even more of a monster than it already is. We've also got the glaive, which comes from Ghost of the Deep, if I remember. Which, it's a glaive, so it's not super god tier or super crazy. There's some crazy glaives out there, but I don't know. I believe it's a solar glaive, if I remember correctly. So I don't know if this is going to be crazy good or anything. But it does look cool. It is a cool looking glaive as a whole, so I'm still excited for it either way. The next weapon they're showing is the Cold Comfort, which comes from Ghost of the Deep as well, which is a really good rocket. Even today, it's still really good. It's got some really good perk combos. So hopefully it's going to get the new bait and switch combo with the new perk, the Arsenal perk, the bait and switch Arsenal perk, whatever it's called. I don't know what it's actually called. Envious Arsenal, I believe. Actually, Envious Arsenal, because that's such a good perk combo for rockets. I know it already has bait and switch, but it's a good perk combo with bait and switch, so I really hope it has that. Not a bad rocket by any means. We've also got the what is this? Epitaph. I believe this is the Ghost of the Deep's waveframe solar weapon, I believe, right? I think it's solar. I don't remember for sure, but it does look cool. It is a cool weapon, so these weapons look cool as a whole, which we'll show in a moment. So I am excited for it either way. These weapons as a whole are really good PvE-wise. And then we have the last one, which is the SMG from Ghost of the Deep, which is also really good right now, and you now maybe get better rolls for. We'll see. I'm excited to see what happens. This is Bungie, though, so we never know for sure. And then we're going to show off what these changes look like that they're doing for the dungeons and what they're going to look like. So this is Explorer mode. Basically the same thing, but like I said, a little bit harder, or a little bit easier, sorry, in a sense, because it actually tells you what to do. So if you look here, when they are killing ads, as you see, it says to do what they should do. It tells them wire nodes, locate the starting node with each wire, and shoot from in order with the buff to activate them. Which you're like, okay, cool. So you gotta shoot these wire things, you know. They probably should have an arrow pointing to those little things, the little nodules, but that's fine. As you see here, we've got the buff, which says defeat conduit minotaurs or drop pools of buff. Step into the pools to gain the buff, which allows wire node activations, which when you pick this buff up, it's actually pretty cool what it does. As you see here, they have to go kill another one because obviously they didn't step in it quick enough. It's the same thing it'll say. But as you see, it actually shows waypoints of all the ones you should shoot, the starting waypoints, which is actually really cool. As a whole, something for the older dungeon and stuff, for newer players to come in way late. This is a great system. I don't know if they're going to permanently make this thing, but as you see, it highlights the next ones you should do in order, which is pretty cool. Now they're going to show off the weapons, which as you can see, the specific epitaph, which is adept. This is a wayframe. I don't remember this being a wayframe. I thought this was something else. I guess they might have changed the elements for some of them too. I'm not sure. There's a lot going on here, so I'm not exactly sure fully what they're doing, but it is a wayframe, so we'll see. As you see, you can get a depth version of these. Like we said, they have some cool perks. It's got chain reaction, which is kind of cool, but it is stasis, so I kind of hope it gets chill clip or something like chill clip for a wayframe. Would be kind of broken, but it would also be really cool. So I'm kind of excited for that. But as you see, they're just showing it off, and the way it looks insane. You get like a galaxy effect on the depth version, and the normal version, as you see, is just kind of normal looking plain, but it's got the 9 symbol on it and stuff, so it's really cool. It's as a whole, it's really cool. These weapons are insanely cool looking. They're pretty simple, but they look cool still. The galaxy looking thing looked really dope on the adept, so I'm kind of excited for that, because honestly, if it shaders well, that'd be cool, and if it doesn't shader well, that's fine too, because it looks dope either way. We got a new perk that all these weapons will have that come from it, which is called Gravity Well. Reloading this weapon automatically gathers nearby ammo. The most broken sounding perk I have ever heard in this game. And on a grenade launcher, that's crazy good because you'll be reloading after every shot pretty much. So, pretty cracked. Pretty easy perk to get. Can't wait to see what these combos can be. I'm really hoping there's some really good combos. I'm hoping there'll be some cool combos. It'd be really cool if you got chain reaction and chill clip together. I doubt you'll get them together, but it would be really cool if you could get them together. It'd be kind of a cool combo. So, as you see, you get some sort of material to drop, which I'm guessing is going to be useful for the thing. But yeah, we get depth. As you see, there's like a little galaxy effect. They're talking about it now. But like this little galaxy effect on the barrel, which looks really sick. I don't know, and it's back here as well a little bit. I don't know if you're going to be able to shader it and make it look different or pop out more. Or if this is like an ornament, shiny ornament like it is for the weapons that came from I forget what it's called, from whenever we had the weapons come back, Recluse and all those weapons come back, whatever that's called, that activity, Onslaught. I don't know if it's going to be where you can't shader it or not. I hope you can shader because it looked really cool. But yeah, as a whole, pretty dope thing. So these weapons look sick. I mean, you can see it in his hand right now, the SMG. It looks really cool. I'm kind of impressed because these weapons kind of needed a buff, and they were like, you know, we got this. We'll buff them in a unique way, in a different way. So I'm kind of excited for this. As you see, there's a waypoint to tell you to go up. This is literally helping mode. This is literally a noob mode in a sense, is to teach you. You do get loot from it, some good loot from it, they said, and stuff. But then obviously the higher ones give you better loot, like the depths probably and stuff. It is really cool. The last thing we'll show is this actually interesting mechanic that I never ever seen before. Like, you can actually call up these things from the bottom somehow. I don't know exactly how you're doing it, if it's just shooting it or it just eventually spawns or there's a lever or something. They don't really show. But, yeah. You can make this a little easier on yourself. Different way to come across, which is actually kind of cool because they updated it into a different way to move throughout the dungeon. Yes, this is easy mode, so this might not be on the harder modes. It's just only going to be on the easy modes, but it's still really cool either way. It's something simple, but it's something that's actually useful. So yeah, pretty dope. I see we see the machine gun here they're shooting. Looks insane. It's an arc machine gun. Looks dope. I think some of these weapons, they've moved around their elements or moved them around a little bit. I could be wrong. Maybe they were always in that slot. But either way, they look sick. I'm excited for this. This is such a cool idea for an event. And they did seem to change things around a bit. So as a whole, pretty cool. Rite of the Nine is what it's called. It will be coming in Act 3, though, so we do have to wait like 6 weeks, sadly. But that's okay. It still looks cool either way, and I'm still excited for this. So if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment what you think. Are you excited to see this? Because personally, this looks like it's going to be pretty cool. These weapons have a depth variance. They're going to be pretty overpowered, hopefully. Hopefully they got good PvP and PvE perks. I want both. We'll see. Hopefully Bungie gives us that, not just PvE or PvP. Please, Bungie, give us both. I know they're dungeon weapons, but please, Bungie, give us both. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a subscribe, leave a comment what you think. Thanks for watching. We out. Adios. We out.